IVM.
Hey, welcome to Smile India with me, Shifa Maitra. On this podcast, I get you delightful, uplifting news from different parts of India. Who says news has to always be dull and discouraging? Jane D'Souza and Sydney Cardasso are a lovely couple from Goa. They have a home filled with love and laughter of their two children, Jacob and Riley. What's unusual is that every morning before breakfast, when the family prays together, both the children ask for protection for their other mama and papa as well. They know they are adopted and that their family is special. Jane and Sydney adopted Jacob 4 years ago from a children's home in Ranchi, a decision that they took impulsively after Jane had a miscarriage. The counseling at Kara helped them think it through, and they got their son home only 13 months later. Their daughter was adopted from Bihar after 2 years. The extended family dotes on the kids, and the parents do not plan hiding any facts from them and talk to the children in an age-appropriate manner. The couple also believe that the children should not lose touch with their roots and plan to teach them Hindi as well as English. Jane shares her experiences online to help other parents who've adopted or are planning to adopt children. As Jane says, that when a child gets a lovely, supportive home, that is the world they will always want. Ashwini was considered lucky by her classmates in school since her parents were allowing her to study till class 10. She lives in a small village of farmers in northern Karnataka. So when after class 10 she told her parents she wanted to study further, they were horrified. She was 15 and had to get married. Ashwini wanted to study and do something in life. So she took the small amount of money that she saved and ran away from home that night. She went to Hubli, the nearest town, and walked into the office of Deshpande Foundation, a NGO she had heard helped rural youth. She did not have enough money to join a fresh course, but pleaded to join the ongoing one and said she would learn what she'd missed. She did, and soon she was good at computers and presentations and also speaking fluent English. Then she got a job in Bangalore. That was with an NGO that used technology to train government school teachers. Ashwini did well at Meghshala, the NGO, and was soon traveling to 20 villages to teach teachers. Once the pandemic struck, she was forced to go home to the village. But now she could not sit idle. So she used screen recording facilities to help teachers take online classes for students. The villagers were amazed at the change in her, and soon she began teaching students and women basic computer literacy via the smartphone. Sometimes it takes a child to bring up a village. Our cities grow in an unplanned manner, and very often you have narrow roads in areas with dense population. That makes it very difficult for fire brigades to reach them. To combat this, a Mumbai-based automobile designer has designed a fire bike that can get in and provide instant aid. Gabriel Zuzurate has done this with the Kolkata-based company To the Rescue for the Mumbai Fire Brigade. He's taken a Royal Enfield bike and modified it after detailed discussions with the fire brigade team. So now the bike has 2 tanks for water and a 30-meter pipe attached. It also has 2-sided fire-dousing jet sprays, a firefighting axe, and a 4 kg fire extinguishing cylinder. What's more, it has a siren and public address system as well, with a mic in the helmet, so the rider can address the people while riding. This definitely seems like an innovation that can save lives. Another person who's adding a smile to our lives is 64-year-old Poonam Sapra from Delhi. You probably don't know her name since everyone knows her as the mother with a sign on Instagram. If you haven't checked out her account, you need to do it now. She smiles as she shares signs with simple motherly advice that make you chuckle, smile, pause, or call up your mom. The idea began 8 months ago when she was chatting with her son Pranav. Like most youngsters, he had realized that his mom was right more often than he was ready to admit. The post started getting noticed, and now she has over 1 lakh followers. Her simple homemade wisdom instantly strikes a chord, and during the pandemic, people have been reaching out to her for advice. Poonam acknowledges her son's contribution to making the account a success and believes that she feels better when she hangs out with her children, their friends, her nieces, nephews, and now her large virtual family. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on IVM Network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, it's at Shifa Maitra on Instagram and Twitter. I will see you soon with a new episode of Smile India.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to remind our Tamil-speaking audience about the new show from Kadai Podcast. The previous season was Punyan Selvan. The new show that we're doing is Sivakamyan Sabata. Kavita Jiva, who's the host of the show, basically what she does is she retells these old classics in a modern idiom. I think you'll really enjoy that. Quickly running through some of the other guests that we had this week. Luke Catino showed up on Cyrus Says, where he and Cyrus had a great conversation about fitness and all things related to that. Rahul Dacuna was on Gauri Devi Dayal's show. This round's on me. Again, great conversation around brands and things like that. Maruk Inayat had Kaveri Banzai on her show to discuss Sushant Singh Rajput's death and the effect it's going to have on Bollywood as it goes forward. Archana Vora, who is a director of small and medium businesses at Facebook, she was on Advertising is Dead, talking about the kinds of work that Facebook is doing with smaller businesses. And remember, Edges and Sledges continues its fan series. Do definitely check that out. And last, one final thing, that Cock and Bull this week was really interesting. Cyrus, Kunal Vijayakar, Gauri Devi Dayal, and myself spoke quite a bit about the restaurant industry and the challenges that they're facing in this pandemic. So do definitely check that out. I think you'll enjoy that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Have you ever wondered how successful people do their thing? How do they navigate the challenges they often face? Are you wondering about the future of restaurants, film, education, technology, and everything else in between? Hi, I'm Gauri Devi Dayal, best known for being one of the brains behind The Table, an award-winning restaurant in Bombay. One thing my life as a restaurateur has given me is the opportunity to meet with some truly inspiring people, most often just by chatting with strangers at the community table. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about learning the new dimensions of business and understanding how different people swim this sea. It's an opportunity for me to pick their brains and ask them all the questions on my mind, whether it's about learning from their past experiences or talking about future trends. Through their journeys, stories, and insights, I hope you too, like me, will come away inspired and energized. So come, join me every Wednesday with your favorite drink because this round is on me.